Do you love designing, but maybe you're not really keen on designing kitchens? It's a lot from a technical aspect, but you're getting a lot of requests for kitchens, right? What do? Stay tuned. We have a solution for you. Hey kids, and welcome to Design by Wingnut Social. I'm your host, Darla Jethro Powell, and today we're talking about kitchens and baths and lighting design and what to do if you don't want to do it. As an interior designer in my firm, I would collaborate with kitchen designers in Miami just to help with the CAD and the 2020 and the particulars of it because I'm not certified in kitchen and bath design and all of that. So it just made sense to either partner or collaborate with a kitchen designer. And today's guest, Lesa Taylor of Tailored Kitchens and Baths, is going to walk us through her process, how she does it. Maybe it's something you want to do. Maybe it's a service you want to provide. Maybe kitchens is your superpower, kitchens and baths and all that. You're going to get some terrific tidbits and takeaways here from Lesa. Or maybe you're an interior designer like me, principal of the firm. You're commanding a staff of designers. Maybe you just don't have a certified kitchen and bath person on staff. Whatever the situation is, you don't have the bandwidth or the capacity. You're like, oh my gosh, I have this kitchen that comes in. They want to design. I don't have the capacity of the people. Who do help? What do I do? I want the job. I want to make the profit from this kitchen. Well, maybe hiring a subcontractor like Lesa Taylor is a solution, right? So we're going to run some ideas by you and see what you think. Just run it by you and see what you think and get some takeaways from adding this service, if you don't already, to your business, or expanding it and doing it in a way that, let's say, is a lot less headache for you and a lot more headache for Lesa. But it's what she excels at. She loves it. All right. So before we do get into my conversation with Lesa, of course, I have to tell you, she is a certified kitchen and bath designer, CKBD, from the National Kitchen and Bath Association. And she solves the most difficult kitchen and bath challenges. Doesn't that sound nice? Someone else solving that by providing personalized and completely custom, one-of-a-kind kitchen and bath solutions for her clients' unique needs, desires, and lifestyles. She's intensely thorough, that I can attest to, folks, and invests in every project as if it was a design for her very own home. Her kitchen and bath designs have been featured on HGTV's 100-Day Dream Home. Wow, that's pretty impressive. And guys, I have actually worked with Lesa for a kitchen design for my own home, which you'll hear more about in this interview. Wingnuts, help me in welcoming Lesa Taylor to the show. Hey there, Lesa Taylor. Thank you for joining us today. How the hell are you?
I'm doing great, Darla. How are you doing?
I'm doing so well. It's so good to see you again. And I love chatting with you in the green room and catching up.
Great to see you too, Darla. Definitely.
So just so the audience is aware, Lesa and I have a connection. Lesa is an interior designer. She's kitchen and bath, all of that certification, which we're going to get into here. And Lesa helped me out with designing my current kitchen here in Southern Maryland, which we've yet to start construction on here. But that's what we're going to get into here on this show. So as an interior designer, you might be saying, Darla, can't you design your own kitchen? Not to the extent that Lesa can, and not because I don't have the certifications or the NKBA, stuff behind it, like I did with my design firm when I had people who had that working for me, right? Not only that, but I don't have the time, I almost cussed there, or the inclination right now running Wingnut Social. So I was like, you know what? Let me just delegate some of this and high level, approve it, not approve it. And I'm going to tell you something, Lesa, what a terrific experience. What a terrific thing you have going on there. It was brainless. It was just so easy to work with you. So, and I can't wait to finally get that started and do that. It might be next year by the time you guys are seeing that, but we'll certainly share that on our socials.
Oh, good.
So,
good.
So Lesa, just I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. Just tell us a little bit about you and what you do and how that came to be that you're designing kitchens for interior designers, and we'll dig in.
Yeah. So I am certified kitchen and bath designer with the National Kitchen and Bath Association. And this is kind of a third career for me, if you will. I spent 20 plus years in human resources, and I had a pet food business at one point for a few years. That's a whole other podcast. But about 3 years ago, during the pandemic, of course, so many people made changes, and I pursued getting my certified kitchen and bath designer certification with the NKBA, and it was quite intensive. I remember getting the package of books from the NKBA sent to me from, and it was just this huge pile, a huge box that weighed, I think I had to have my husband go out and bring it inside for me. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what did I just do? But yeah, and I also do CAD work. So with I use Chief Architect specifically,
Nice. We did too.
and yeah, it's a really great fun. I enjoy it. I know you're probably not crazy about it, Darla, but I
Oh
enjoy
no,
it.
I delegate that. Come on now. I'm not about to do that. I'm the queen of delegation, you're going to find out. So Lisa, okay, so you went and you said human resources, pet food
Yeah.
company, another show like you said, although I have questions. To becoming a certified kitchen and bath designer, what was the thought process? What was it? Had you already always had an interest in that and personally?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yes, I did. From the time I can remember, as a little girl, I would change my room around practically every weekend, just like the same stories that we hear from
Yeah.
all interior designers. And I just never pursued it. And, I was finally at a point in my life where that was an option for me to pursue my passion. And at one point, I had gotten a staging certification and a redesign certification. That's eons and eons ago, another lifetime. And anyway, yeah. So it's been a lifelong passion of mine, and I'm super excited that I specifically niched in kitchen and bath design. There are so
Super smart.
many, so many amazing interior designers out there. And frankly, there's no way I could possibly compete with how amazing the work is that these interior designers do. And it took a lot of soul searching for me to really think about, okay, what is it really that I want to do? And honestly, fabric is not my thing. It's a lot of people's thing, but I
Yeah.
really enjoy the spatial planning and, figuring out, hearing about the way people live and, figuring out what's the best functional layout for them. And just like I did with you. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was a really smooth process. I loved it. And the kitchen design, I should put up the original design on the show on Designed by Wingnut Social or on YouTube, but it might not look exactly like that when it comes out, depending on our budget, because it's
Yeah.
crazy. We were like, let's just do this, and it ended up being $10 million kitchen. All right, so Lisa, Tailored Kitchens and Baths is your company. You're doing to the end consumer as well, or to be okay,
Yes.
doing both? Okay.
Yes. So, um, I can collaborate with interior designers or
Hmm.
architects. Sometimes, either an interior designer or an architect, it's not their specialty to do kitchens and baths. And so I can, collaborate in whatever way that that person would want help and need help with their clients. I also do the end consumers, and I can really design anywhere in the country for them. So I'm sure everyone is familiar with Matterport. And so Matterport is used a lot by real estate agents. It's how you get, how you get the floor plans and the dimensions. And so I can hire a Matterport person pretty much anywhere in the country, and then they provide me with that information, and I'm able to get dimensions.
Oh, cool.
Or if
I wasn't
it's
familiar with that. Yeah.
yeah, I can actually do the dimensions right from the Matterport system, which is all I need, really. I just need dimensions and adjacent spaces that, if we end up taking walls out like we did with your design, it
Yes,
helps
thank
to
God.
know what's adjacent. But
So
yeah.
Matterport, is that like a professional license kind of thing or just
No, you have to buy a special camera that I've heard costs like $10,000 or
oh
something
the
crazy.
360
Yes.
camera or whatever? Yeah.
Yes, and they come in and they basically set up this camera in the room, and it does a whole 360 3D view of it. And then once you get the output from that, once the person does whatever they do, you're able and sends you the link, you're able to go in and actually take measurements right through Matterport. It's just, I mean, technology is spectacular,
Wow.
right?
That sounds
Yeah.
amazing. That sounds really good for any kind of virtual designer or e-designer Matterport.
Yeah.
I guess I'm behind the times. I don't think I've never heard of it. I haven't had a guest on the show who's mentioned it. So awesome. They're your first.
Oh, good. Good.
They're out there Googling it right now. Matterport, Matterport. Okay. So you're right to your point. So there's a lot of, interior designers, principals, interior designers who have firms who specialties are not the kitchen. They'll make beautiful living rooms, beautiful living spaces and stuff. And there's a lot of product ordering and there's a lot of headaches that come with that. But and doing kitchens and baths, there's so many specs and interior things and kitchens and drawers and measurements and things that I just honestly was never really interested in. And even when we were doing, and we at Darla Palantiers, we did a few kitchens, quite a few actually. I would partner with the kitchen person there in Miami who would bring up their 2020 or their CAD design and map it out with the client. And I always did like a contractor kind of thing, subcontracting with a specialist in that area because, again, queen of delegation. So what do you think? What would your advice be to interior designers listening whose strengths aren't in that field and they do want to break into doing some kitchen and bath design? Let's say if the choice was hiring someone in-house to do that, who has all those specialties versus subcontracting with someone like yourself.
Yeah, definitely. So, and we can, set it up however works for that person. I've had different relationships with different interior designers and architects, but definitely we can make it look completely seamless to the
Mm.
client where the client really wouldn't even know that they're working with an outside firm. Um, and, stick to what you know best and what you love. So there are so many intricate details, like we mentioned, and if that's not what you love to do, why spend time doing something that you don't like when you can have someone like me that does love it and will just make you shine. Like it is not about me being in the spotlight in front of your client whatsoever. It's about, making you shine and giving the client the best design possible for their space and their lifestyle.
I love it. So I'm imagining that. So there's certain challenges and logistic challenges that come with any kind of remote design work, right? And we've already discussed, what was it, Matter?
Matterport.
I wanted to say Matterhorn. I'm going to start yodeling. We've already discussed Matterport, but how, aside from that, when you're doing something remote, what if the Matterport, are the measurements exact? Are you getting boots on the ground as well to verify the Matterports and the finishes and stuff? How is that the logistics accomplished doing? It's so complicated with kitchens and everything. Am I just showing
It
my
is.
ignorance here with,
No, no,
with the
no.
drawing?
No,
Okay.
you're definitely not. You're right.
All right.
It is
Yeah.
extremely detailed, down to the 16th of an inch.
Yeah,
Makes a
exactly.
big
It's
difference.
intimidating. Yeah.
Yes, if you bring in a bunch of cabinetry and something doesn't fit, you've just, wasted a bunch of money. So, the Matterport is actually amazingly, um, accurate. I definitely always suggest that. So, first of all, I call myself an independent
Okay.
certified kitchen and bath designer. So, I don't represent any specific cabinetry line. I design and spec in all, like the general dimensions. So, in 3-inch increments is basically what I use, unless a client tells me, no, listen, I'm definitely doing all custom here. You can do any size you want. But in general, I'm doing the 3-inch dimensions is what I go down to. And so I'm not the person who's supplying the cabinetry. So that's another
Yeah.
great feature of working with me is that the interior designer can still get that a
Markup.
commission and markup
Hmm.
on the cabinetry. And so definitely before it is ordered, you would want to have someone on the ground in the house doing those exact measurements to make sure that there's not something off by an inch here or a half an inch
Yeah.
there or something like that. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I was going to say, because I mean, you have the CYA for that
Oh,
too,
yeah,
right? And make sure, I'm sure, do
definitely.
you have something in your contract that says, hey, here it is, but hey, it's on you if you don't go and actually physically measure this?
Yes,
You
that
have
is,
to, right? As a
yes,
business owner. Yeah,
absolutely.
that would
Yeah,
totally eat your lunch.
for sure. Yes.
All righty, cool. So you have something that you call, quote unquote, designs with purpose. How does that factor into your business model?
Yeah, so I have always been a dog and cat lover, animal lover, wildlife lover, environmental lover, my whole life, and I want to give back. And so every project that I do, I donate 10% to the charity of the client's choice, not
Oh,
my choice.
wow.
So, and I do ask that it would be an animal or environmental charity, something that's helping animals in general. And there's just so many amazing and great organizations out there and need help desperately. So yeah, it's just one very small way that I can give back to a local community of, wherever that client is located.
I love that. And when you're saying client, so like if an interior designer hires you in B2B, Darla Powell Interiors hires you, it's Darla Powell Interiors choice.
Sure,
Okay, cool.
absolutely.
Lisa,
Yes.
that is so amazing. And especially high end or, upper tier clients who have a larger budget, especially. And this is stats. I'm not really trying to single anyone out or not single anyone out. They like to put their investment towards beliefs and things that speak to them, that
Yeah.
align with their purposes and their mission. I love that. That's great. Not only is it serving you in your heart because that's a passion of yours, but it's a terrific message and terrific way for people to align with you. And that should be in your Instagram marketing. That should be in your messaging.
I need someone to get on that, Darla.
Girl, don't get me started. But no, that's lovely. Definitely include that in some of your Instagram messages as a mission statement. A part of your mission there.
Yes.
That's lovely. That's a terrific idea. All right, Lisa. So I know, because I've been through this with you for myself, for my own personal self, so it's a little bit different. But let's say Susan McNuggets is coming to you and she's sitting down with you and she says, I have a client in Baltimore. This is their aesthetic. I want to design a kitchen with you. What's that process look like? In my head, I'm overwhelmed when just thinking about coming, for a client, I'm thinking about this, coming to you and having a third party design a kitchen. If I'm the designer, how much of it is inspiration? How much is finished selection I'm already coming to you with? How much homework do they need to do to come to you? Or can they just say, hey, make it contemporary?
I don't need a whole lot of information from the interior designer.
Hmm.
I have an assessment that I do.
Okay.
And that can be done either through the interior designer. I would be happy to provide that to them and they just bring back the answers to me, or I can do it directly with the client. So, with the interior
Oh, wow.
designer's client.
Okay.
And it's, it typically takes me about an hour. And if you recall, Darla, we went through this and I have like a million questions of how you use the space and what
Hmm.
what do you want to see and what's your style? And I ask for inspiration pictures. Um, in terms of the actual finishes, if the person knows exactly what they're looking for, absolutely, when I do the 3D renders, I
Hmm.
can try to make it look as close to that as possible. Since you would utilize Chief Architect, you know that they don't
Yeah.
have, millions of options in there, but they do have thousands of options, right? And so I'm not
Right.
going to find every single finish, but I can get it pretty darn close. And that is another great reason to, the interior designer can continue to do what they love. So they can go with the client and help pick out the finishes or, narrow it down for the client, to three of this choice and three of that choice, and
Yeah.
which one do you like better? So I, I don't need to be involved in that whatsoever. And then the interior designer would let me know, okay, this is our final choices. So, can you get your renders as close to this as possible? Um,
Nice. Or even
yeah.
better, just say, here's the choice. Just one choice. Here you go. You're going to like it. Okay. All right. So, quick question. So, if you're actually speaking to the interior designer's client face to face, like we are
Mhm,
here, let's
mhm.
say, how are you presenting yourself? Are you not going to be Lesa Taylor, tailored kitchens and baths? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How you're white labeling that?
Yeah. So I have done both. So
Okay.
I have done where an interior designer really did not mind that I was a separate company and it really was not their niche to do kitchens
Mm-hmm.
and baths, but it was part of the overall, they were doing an entire house, interior design for an entire house, and it was part of the scope of work. And so I just worked with that client directly as tailored kitchens and baths, and certainly kept that interior designer informed
Mm-hmm.
about every single step of the process and the
Okay.
way, and included them in as many of the meetings as they wanted to be included in. And then I've also done it where I am kind of seen as an extension of the company. So
Just like when you hire a contractor or whatever, and they're subcontracting for you, they're an extension in a way of the company. So that's good. So you can do it on a partnership kind of basis, which is
mhm.
great. And that has a different, I'm sure, price structure or agreement with the interior designer. Or just, here I am. I'm Lesa Taylor. And here, let's start your kitchen design. Don't ask too many questions. Alrighty, cool. So again, I want to get back to how granular you are and how super incredibly detailed your designs are. Like you leave nothing to chance and nothing out to the electrical, to the lighting design. And a lot of interior designers are intimidated by the lighting design aspect of the kitchens and baths. Sometimes they even forget about it entirely, which some of the newer designers do. That's one of the things that I actually love to do. Like, don't ask me to draw it up, but I love placing lighting. Lighting is so important to this. So how do you address that in a design situation? Is that something, because that's something else I'm thinking virtually is a huge challenge, because lighting in a space, that's a boots on the ground situation. How do you get around that?
Yeah, I love lighting design also.
Hmm.
And in fact, as part of the NKBA training, there's a whole lighting area. There's one of the big fat textbooks I received in the mail was all about lighting. I had frankly no idea before I got
Sure.
this, but then I loved it so much. It was kind of, I saw the NKBA training on lighting as kind of an introduction. And I went to the University of Colorado Boulder to an intensive, like 5-day training there, all about lighting, which was just amazing. And so I am actually able to do a whole entire house interior lighting design for and plans for the house, including the electrical, including the switches and the
Oh,
controls, and which switch controls these three lights, and where it should be
wow.
located. um, Integrators are really key right now. They're so that you don't have, I call it wall acne, so you don't have a bunch of wall acne with all these light switches. You just have one nice little control
Yeah.
panel, and it's integrated into your phone. And you can do scenes, so you have a night scene, and it's a different color temperature, and and you have a morning scene that has a totally different feel. I consider lighting designs and planning of everything to be really an art and a science. And so, the science is getting the correct number of fixtures in the right locations, and the art is really the types of fixtures. And and highlighting architectural features of the home and making sure that the task lighting is there when you need it. I actually just went into a brand new house here last week that I was looking at. We were interviewing a general contractor for building our own home, and I couldn't believe that there was no recessed lights except for in the kitchen
Oh,
and
wow.
like a couple in the bathroom, but there was no recessed lights in any of the bedrooms or the family room or anywhere. And
Wow.
I know
You
I
say,
was
sir, how
shocked.
dare you? Don't you know who I am?
I was shocked. But yes, what you were saying, Darla, lighting makes all the difference in the world in a
It really does.
design.
So this is a third service you offer. Forgive me if I missed this. So kitchens, baths done for you. Of course, the lighting involved with that space, the four walls, right? One, two,
Yeah.
three, four, floor and ceiling, six walls, six whatever. And then if someone needs a lighting design for the whole house or for a room in and of itself, you do that.
Yes. 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 And I
Ah,
love doing it.
yeah.
Yeah. I
I mean, I know that's a thing. Lighting designers, of course, they exist, but I didn't know that that was one of your things as well.
yeah.
We
Yeah.
also have to get that into your social. I'm busting your balls.
No, I know. You go for it, Darla.
Let me help you, Lisa.
I know. I know. I need help.
No, you really seriously are doing beautiful work. That's terrific. So, and it's really a no-brainer. So all this heavy, like super detailed technical work, if you don't have the headroom or the bandwidth or in your firm to do it, or maybe you do have the staff, but you're overloaded with work, and instead of saying, you know what, let me hire, some other interior designer to be on full service, W-2, taxes, moods. There's a mood today with hiring new hires, Gen Z sometimes, just hire someone lovely like yourself to collaborate and work
Yes.
with and to make sure you get the full thing there. One last thing before we get into the What Up Wingnut realm. And
Yes.
I want to know how you're making this work with your business model is why do you provide unlimited design revisions? What is going on with that? Are you just that confident and you hardly ever go into revisions?
Yeah. So honestly, it rarely comes back to bite me.
Oh,
Yet.
that's amazing. That's a
Yes.
testament right there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've had one that I can really think of where yeah, he must have wanted to see 100 renders. Um, and it was, but other than that, my assessment is so detailed
Love it.
and I really get into how a family uses their space and what's not working for them and what they need. That I can, you know, and believe me, and it's not because I get offended in any way if somebody comes back and
Hmm.
says, well, let me see this instead or that, and I'll let people know that, okay, I will absolutely show you anything.
Hmm.
One thing to consider if you move this there is, this is going to happen, and
Domino effect.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. But yeah, so it has rarely come back to bite me.
How much do you think that swayed or convinced people to work with you when they see that you have unlimited design revisions for your fee? How important do you think that's been for your business in the marketing piece?
So I think it's important.
Hmm.
It's important for me when it's one of the differentiating factors. I started the business because I myself was actually looking for a kitchen designer, and I had four different, I'll call them cabinet companies. And believe me, I mean, there are a lot of very hardworking and very talented people
Hmm.
in this space. So it is not my slighting anybody whatsoever. But I had these cabinet companies come into my home, and I wanted somebody to think outside the box and give me some options. And really, it seemed like they just wanted to take a cabinet order. And again, I'm not in any way, but I didn't. I
Mm.
couldn't get anyone to brainstorm with me and give me some ideas and show me what it was going to look like and talk about function. And so I like having that option myself where I get to
Yeah.
see lots of different, as many different designs as I want to see. So I like to offer it to people. Yeah.
Well, you have to be so secure that what you're putting out there is going to just be so amazing that the offer doesn't come bite you in the, like you said, you've only had the one guy. And thinking of my own experience with you, we came back with one tiny revision, which was a window size, and everything else
Yes.
was like perfect. You're right. And it reminds me of, I don't know if you guys in the audience have heard of Alex Hermosi, Hermozi, I want to say, and he has a book out there called, I think it's called $100 million Offer. And it is making an offer that you can't refuse. And you really just can't refuse that. It's like there's no losing. So if potential client's coming to you and they're saying, well, even if I don't like it, unlimited design revisions, I mean, that's a no-brainer. Where do I sign? So balancing out the price for the maybe that could happen, one out of 50 or 100 or 20 even.
Mhm.
I think it's brilliant, but again, you have to be your level confidence with the quality that you put out. But well done. Also, probably something we should put in your messaging on. Lesa, is there anything I've forgotten to ask you on this topic that you think the audience needs to hear before we get into the fire round?
I can't think of anything, Darla. Thank you so much.
No, it's my pleasure. All right. Now I have to ask you, Lesa Taylor, are you ready for the What Up Wingnut round?
Yes, I am.
What would the hashtag on your tombstone be?
Hashtag my way.
Love it. You're stuck on a deserted island, but you can have your one favorite food forever. What is it?
Smoothie.
A particular flavor or?
A little bit of strawberries, a little bit of bananas, a little
All
bit
right.
of
Nice.
some green juice, veggies.
All right. So we're keeping scurvy at bay. Got it. Last but not least, recommend a book that has impacted you either personally or professionally.
Yes. So it's called Let My People Go Surfing by Yvon Chouinard, I think is how he pronounces his last name. He's the founder of Patagonia.
Ah,
And
okay.
if
Okay.
you have not heard about him or what he is doing, it's amazing. So
How
great
has it
book.
impacted you? How has it reached you?
Yeah, so it just, I mean, so first of all, I mean, he's been in business a very, very long time and, started this before there was technology or, internet or anything. And just everything that he had to go through to make his business successful. And then it is just, it's really inspiring what he has been able to accomplish and what he is now doing with his business, which is basically he's saying that his only shareholder in Patagonia is the earth. So
Oh, okay. All right. I
yeah,
could see. I could see why that would appeal to you for sure. All
yeah,
right. And that was Let My People Go Surfing.
yes.
All righty, cool. Lesa Taylor, please tell the Wingnuts where they can go to find out more about you, and then we will call it a day.
The website is tailoredkitchensandbaths.com, and Taylor is spelled like my last name, Taylord, kitchens with an S, and baths.com with an S. So, and then of course on sadly, my sad Facebook and Instagram
Yeah,
is
of course we kid here. Can we help you out? Yes, we absolutely can. But you still have your beautiful renderings and your beautiful designs over there. So go check that out and
yeah,
follow her. Please follow her at
yes,
Tailored
yes, yes.
Kitchens and
Please
Baths
follow me.
on Instagram. Yeah, we'll talk. We'll chat. Lesa Taylor, thank you so much for joining us. You've been amazing as usual. And it was really great speaking with you again. I can't wait to implement our kitchen. We will post that
I
whenever it
can't wait to
happens
see
and
it.
tag the hell out of it and tag you on that. So
Oh,
thank you so
thank you,
much.
Darla. Thank you so much.
All right, guys, there you go. What did you think? Is that something that you would consider doing for your interior design firm? Having a subcontractor, having a white label outwardly facing Susan McNugget's interior kitchen designer? I have to tell you, from working with Lesa, and this is kind of a plug, but it's a heartfelt, not paid, sponsored plug in any kind of way, that she is incredibly thorough, man. The kitchen design she did for us was crazy good, really good. And hopefully we'll be able to implement that design, if not the exact, at least some of it, because it was really expensive kitchen design. I don't know if we're going to do the whole thing, Lisa, but it's super, super, really nice design and really terrific work. So reach out to Lisa at tailoredkitchensandbaths.com. You can follow her on her Instagram, such as it is. Give me a call, Lisa. At Tailored Kitchens and Baths. You know I love you. I tease. And check that out. So, all right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us again for this episode of Designed by Wingnut Social. If you're not following us on the YouTubes, please go over there and hit that like and subscribe and all that obnoxious notification stuff I have to tell you about. I'm obligated to tell you about. And we should have in there, if my producer is listening to my edits here, we should have some images and some stuff from Lisa's kitchen design that you can kind of see there and see how she works, and some other cool stuff there, the video that you don't get to see here with just me speaking in your ears. All right, guys. Oh, also, I guess this is kind of important. Since it's a marketing agency that sponsors this podcast, Wingnut Social is a marketing agency for interior designers, architects, and to the trade, vendors and verticals and that kind of situation there. So if you need help with marketing your interior design business, interior design related business on social media, on the Googles, or whatever you have going on there, check out wingnutsocial.com. If you're a beginning interior designer and you just don't have the budget to delegate your social media marketing out, because done right, it is an investment. I'm not going to lie. You can head on over to Wingnut Academy, and we have a complete course there on how to manage Instagram in order to attract your ideal client. It's super robust. I won't belabor you with the details, but you can check that out. Wingnut Academy, Instagram for interior designers. And we have a free webinar also on that. That's a very high level overview, incredibly high level, like a 5% of the course really, on our Instagram channel at wingnutsocial.com. Just go in our link in bio and you'll see it's 6 keys to success on Instagram. And you can watch that bad boy there for free, and it'll give you a great framework or a launching point to wrap your mind around what you need to do on Instagram. All right, guys, that's it for this week. Remember, until next time, get out there, get uncomfortable, and be great.